Let's begin with the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. What do you two make of this game?
I mean, I think we learned what the Chiefs are about. They dominated for the most part, but I think there's some problems in Tampa Bay. I think we pointed out last week. We had the debate with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Discussing who's the GOAT and whatnot. And I think we're seeing a lot of weaknesses in Tom Brady this year. And there's no way to make excuses. The only excuse you can kind of give him is his age, but that didn't seem an issue last year when they're in the playoffs losing Tennessee. It didn't seem like an issue the year before. So I think there's a coaching problem because I mean, it's obvious when you go from Bruce Arians or when you go from Bill Belichick to Bruce Arians, there's obvious drop off because no one compares to Bill Belichick when you compare head coaches in the history of the NFL. But there's not an excuse for talent because it's probably a top 2, 3. This is a top 2 most talented roster Tom Brady's ever had. So the only excuses that you can really come up for Tom Brady and why they're struggling as a whole, Tampa Bay, a lot of it has to go on him because there's not really any flaws in defense. There's no flaws in the offense, and it's not a question of talent. So we have to look at what's going wrong. And I think we have to start at the top with those two guys.
I'll say this. I said this too, back early in the year when Brady first went to Tampa Bay. I never understood why people treat this as Brady's chance to prove that he's the greatest all time, even without Belichick. Because to me, I always thought this as he's not going to prove anything at this age. I wasn't convinced when he first went to Tampa Bay, and I'm still not convinced now because when I watch any gameplay, even though Tampa is a playoff team, they've only won against teams with mediocre defenses or the teams that they lost to Saints, Bears, Chiefs, Rams. They all have defenses that can easily shut down Brady, and they have a good offense. But I'm still not convinced that offense will work in the playoffs. I'm not sure if the chemistry will all melt here. You said last week. I feel like it's a case where there's just so many weapons on that team. There's there's too many things going on, and I don't think chemistry will honestly work out in the playoffs. It's worked out well enough for them in the regular season, but we always say, playoffs is a different thing.
If we're being completely honest, I think Jameis Winston got more out of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin than Tom Brady has. I don't know the exact reason why that they are struggling. Well, I think Tampa Bay looked kind of the same from this year to last year, except they have more expectations and they're playing slightly better without, Jameis Winston's 30 picks. But I think Jameis Winston, on his good games, they looked like a much better team than Tampa Bay does right now. It's just they don't look like a good team. We're watching them play. This is not a hot take. This isn't something out of the blue. We've seen them play for now 11 weeks. They're 10. They've played 10 games, and I don't think anyone can say they're overly impressed based on the talent they have and the expectations. And I think we're trying to analyze what's going wrong with Tampa Bay. I think we've overrated how good Tom Brady can be without Bill Belichick. I think we've maybe slightly overrated Bruce Arians as a head coach because he's definitely not getting the best out of what they have. And I think when you look at Bruce Arians and when you look at a head coach, there's a lot of good head coaches, but they're all for the most part good NFL coaches. So you have to look at what makes, what separates the top 5 from the rest. Bruce Arians, I don't think fits that category. And I think when it's all said and done, when it matters most in the fourth quarter, is Bruce Arians going to have the right play call? There seems to be a lot of controversy coming from him. Bruce Arians seems to be putting a lot of the blame on Tom Brady, saying he's the one calling the plays. So I think there's issues with communication with head coach. And I think within the season, having a shortened off season, not getting those reps, and I think all of that's affecting Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and having too much new talent in one place is just in this year in 2020 I don't think the formula is right for them this year. And I think the expectation is definitely Super Bowl or bust. And based off what we've seen in the regular season, I don't see a way that Tampa Bay can beat some of the better teams out there.
Okay, disagree with you on just two small things you said. I disagree on Jameson, but I understand what you're coming from there, so I'm not going to really say much about that. But I disagree with you that in terms of Tom Brady, what he can or can't do without Belichick, I don't think we ever are going to see what he can do because we never got to see Brady in his prime without Belichick. The truth is that who knows? Maybe Brady could have been a great quarterback even while Belichick in his prime. But the thing is that he's not in his prime anymore. He is an older Tom Brady. He is like a 42-year-old Tom Brady, and yeah, he's obviously better fitting in with Belichick at that age than he was with Bruce Arians. But we don't really know how great he could have been. Well, but I will agree with you. This is a team that with expectations to win a Super Bowl. This is a team that they built this team to like a little win now
Just based
mentality.
on talent alone, I think
Yeah,
just based
and
on
I don't think they're
talent,
gonna get there.
people pegged. I mean, people are still calling them Super Bowl favorites, but for what we've seen out of them, for how they've played 10, 11 games,
Even if
it's
they make the
clearly
Super
not good
Bowl,
enough. It's definitely not
e-
good enough
even
from
the
what
Super Bowl
we've
gets to the
expected.
Chiefs, and I don't see them being
Yeah,
the Chiefs like ever because Chiefs they still have Mahomes, they have Tyreek Hill who had an amazing game last week. They have the most explosive offense in the league right now, and I don't see how this Tampa Bay team can really stop that.
I think we talk less about the game and more about Brady and kind of what's going on
We
there.
both
Yeah,
don't like
just
Brady. Let's
quick
be
shout out.
honest.
Just I think we have to give a quick shout out to Tyreek Hill. What a
Yeah,
game! He carved that entire defense up. I mean, again, you talk about coaching. I don't know why Tyreek Hill was in man coverage the entire game. You can't. There's no NFL player that can guard Tyreek Hill in man coverage. He's too quick. His footwork's too good. He blows by you. He can cut back. You need to put two guys on him. And again, when you look at little things, when you look at reasons why games are won and lost, I mean, Tampa Bay lost by 3 points, and they gave up a lot to Tyreek Hill simply because they put guys in the wrong positions to stop him.
yeah. We always talk about how like Mahomes is so good that he could like make his receivers better, but the thing is that Tyreek Hill is just that good, and he makes like Mahomes, who's already great, even better. They like help each other, like, and that's what they're like probably the best quarterback receiver tandem in the league right now.